Hello, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed your weekend, and hope you all have a great Valentine's Day. Being that it is Monday, means time for spooky places. And this week we shall talk about a few places in Illinois, starting off with the Greenwood Cemetery in Decatur, Illinois. The Greenwood Cemetery in the south end of Decatur is possibly one of the most haunted sites in the Midwest. It was incorporated in 1857, but no one really knows when it was started, but burials took place there as far back as 1820s. Tales of ghostly apparitions and misty forms have been collected over time, including tales that have endured for decades, like the Greenwood Bride and the story of the Brackman Staircase, where the ghost of a weeping young woman has been reported. One of the Greenwood's haunted and lost locations is the old mausoleum, which was torn down in 1967. The building had been in terrible condition at the time, and rumors circulated of strange screams and lights that could not be explained. The mausoleum was emptied prior to being torn down, and unclaimed bodies were placed in common graves across the road. Recent paranormal investigations have detected strange activity is still emanating from this location. Another of Greenwood's legends are ghost lights that have appeared for several generations on the southern edge of the graveyard. The lights are said to be the spirits of lost souls whose bodies were washed away by a flood many years ago. Spirits are said to be searching for the places where their bodies are now buried. Greenwood's most notorious haunted spot is the Civil War section. During the war, Decatur was frequently visited by prison trains carrying Confederate prisoners to camps. One of these trains contained a number of men who had died from yellow fever while en route. The railroad tracks passed close to the cemetery, so a wagon was used to carry away the dead. Prisoners were buried in unmarked graves on the side of the hill near where the War Memorial section is today. The grave was quickly dug, but in the haste, it is believed that some of those soldiers may not have actually been dead. There are many who say that these soldiers still walk the hills of Greenwood Cemetery, and many others claim to have an uncomfortable feeling in this area. One man even says that he encountered one of the soldiers in person. He was walking through the cemetery one day when he saw a man standing among the tombstones. He gestured and the man went, "Can you help me?" The man in the uniform asked, "Where am I?" The other man looked at him closely and saw the fear in his eyes. Then he got a chill down his spine as the man in the uniform spoke again. "I just want to go home," the man said softly, and then he vanished. And we move to the Holy Sepulchral Cemetery, Worth, Illinois. The Holy Sepulchral Cemetery is a large Catholic cemetery established on July 4th, 1923 by the late Cardinal Mundelein. From about 1901 to 1910 or 11, this was the location of the Worth racetrack. Since its construction, well over 90,000 interments have been made in the cemetery, and approximately 1,800 are buried annually within Section 7. Visitors will find the highly decorated grave of Mary Alice Quinn, sometimes referred to as Chicago's Miracle Child. Mary was born on December 28, 1920, to an Irish family. She was very mystically inclined, almost the Chicago version of Saint Teresa, to whom Mary was very devoted. She claimed to have seen a religious image on her wall, and since that day became very devout to religion. Before she died, Mary told her parents that she wanted to come back to help people after death. She died on November 8, 1935, at the tender age of 14. Many incidents have been related, especially in the late 1930s and during the early 1940s, of Mary's apparition appearing to people throughout Chicago's South Side. In fact, she has appeared to people around the world. They come to the cemetery and leave candles at her grave and also pray for favors. Some take away handfuls of dirt while others leave behind prayer books, rosaries, crucifixes, religious medallions, and notes requesting divine intervention. Current manifestation that is most reported at the gravesite is an overwhelming scent of roses even in the dead of winter when there are no trees or flowers in bloom. The odor is definitely not somebody's perfume or stray smell, as it's concentrated within a few feet of the grave and nowhere else. Even though there may be a stiff breeze blowing, the psychic odor does not drift away from the wind with the wind. There is also an alleged recent medical cure attributed to Mary Alice Quinn. A young couple gave birth to an infant that doctors diagnosed as terminal and would not live out the year. The couple refused to give up hope for the child. They had heard about the stories of Mary Alice Quinn and decided to pray to her for help. They brought their baby to the site, laid her on the grave, and began to pray. All at once there was an overwhelming scent of roses in the air. From that day, the baby's health took a turn for better and lived, mystifying the puzzled doctors and specialists. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the tales for this week, my friends, and wishing you all a spooky night.